and welcome to the Blackfoot Book Club again for episode 26 and part 12 from my August self-published book, The Spirit of Cricket. Without further ado, on page 178 you will find a chapter entitled Ash's Summer Musings Volume 9, Heather Knight and an Impossible Mission. Wednesday the 12th of July 2023. I had to forego today's cricketing Ashes battle and the fifth game in a series of 7 between the ladies of England and Australia, as quite simply my son insisted upon us visiting our local cinema to aid Tom Cruise in his impossible mission to save the world once more. To say we were both excitedly looking forward to this latest instalment in the franchise approaching its third decade is another of my monumental understatements, and refraining from any hints, score updates or sporting spoilers, I bubbled myself away in a cocoon until late this evening and the hour-long highlights from Bristol of today's 50 over one-day international. After saving the world with the added help of the Impossible Mission Force and Thomas Cruise Mapother IV, I settled in with a pizza to accompany the highlights, hoping for an England victory that, like their male counterparts, would keep their Ashes dreams alive. Remarkably, considering England lost the first match in the series and a brilliant test match to boot, as well as the first of 3 IT20 matches and trailing by 6 points to 0 as a consequence, the Ashes are as live as England's hopes following today's close-run 2-wicket triumph over the world champion Australians. The razor-thin margin of victory is perfectly in keeping with the series, as well as a mirror to the men's series recommencing next week, and the mirroring theme continues with an Australian team being incredibly difficult to beat and never giving up, and an England team on the rise, a little raw in places and apt to drop a lot of catches. A lot of catches. After winning the toss and electing to bat first, Australia lost captain Alyssa Healy for just 8 before Elise Perry and 20-year-old Phoebe Litchfield steadied the ship of their innings with a fine partnership that saw Perry granted a cricketing life when on just 6 and Litchfield finally dismissed for 34 runs from 36 balls received, with unquestionably one of the greatest catches of this sporting summer. On a day when England would spill 5 catches, with the combined extra cricketing lives costing a mammoth 141 additional runs, youngster Litchfield was brilliantly caught one-handed by a leaping Sophie Eccleston at the mid-on position. Eccleston, a mixture of joy, relief and utter astonishment at her incredible grab, simply clasped a hand over her mouth before being mobbed by her jubilant teammates. It was a true highlight of this Ashes summer, and any cricketing summer come to that. As was the performance yet again of Beth Mooney. The 29-year-old from Shepperton in northern Victoria impresses every time I watch her, and assisted by the 2 extra lives granted her by the easy catch dropped by Kate Cross when on just 19, and the straightforward stumping opportunity missed by England wicketkeeper Amy Jones when on 39, Mooney would eventually steer her team to a final innings total of 263 for 8, remaining 81 not out from 99 balls received. Chasing 264 for victory and a must-win to keep the Ashes series alive, England could have been chasing a far lesser total had they held their catches, but where they had been profligate, Australia was sloppy and for a time overmatched by a marauding England desperate for the win. Racing to 103 for 1, it appeared as though England were treating the game as an IT20 match rather than the longer 50 over format, and whilst they didn't exactly collapse, as has been common for both teams in the latter stages of this series, wickets regularly tumbled as they edged their way towards the victory target. 207 for 6 became 235 for 8, with the limp dismissals of Amy Jones, Sophie Eccleston and Sarah Glenn, and with 29 runs still needed to win, it appeared as though England were heading for an Ashes losing defeat in a game they'd largely controlled. Enter Kate Cross. 4 boundary fours, won an audacious reverse scoop over the head of Aussie wicketkeeper and captain Alyssa Healy, and England had gone from a dominating victory to the brink of Ashes disaster to a win by 2 wickets with just 11 balls of the innings remaining. With the calmest head of all stood England captain Heather Knight, guiding her team to this crucial 2-wicket win with a crushing boundary 4 to end the game 75 not out. The 32-year-old from Plymouth threw her bat into the air with unrestrained joy before hugging partner Kate Cross, and from 2 series opening defeats and a 0-6 points deficit, Knight has skippered her team to 3 consecutive wins against the world champions, a level 6 points position in the series, and with 2 games still to go, the Ashes are still up for grabs. With a 0-6 deficit after 2 games against the world champion Australians, it appeared to be an impossible mission for Heather Knight and her team, but heading to my home county of Hampshire this Sunday, this game is arguably the biggest single match in ladies' Ashes history for some considerable time. The same can, and probably will be said, come the final match in Taunton on Tuesday. The impossible mission continues, and so does this intriguing Ashes series. So that brings us to the end of another episode of the Blackford Book Club. If you could like and subscribe, that would be fun. That would be fantastic. There'll be links below as to how you can support me. But without any waffle and without a rambling end, I leave you in peace and solidarity. And I sincerely thank you for watching.